Lydia from the Merchant Success Team at Paystack, and the purpose of this webinar is to give you a detailed walkthrough how you can unlock growth with international payments at Paystack. And the agenda for this call is pretty simple: to share more about why you should turn it on and how you can turn on international payments on your platform. We'll also move into a live demo where I'll be showing you how you can turn it on your Paystack dashboard. And then we talk about some success stories and case studies we've seen of similar merchants who have been growing their revenue by accepting global payments. And finally, we'd end with a quick tips on how you can optimize the international payments once it's turned on, and answer any questions that might arise in this session. So first, we'll start with why you should, run and turn on international payments on your platform. It's all about choice for us. You have to give your customers the choice to pay how they want, whether that is Visa card, Mastercard, Apple Pay, Verve. It is really important that you give them seamless access to your product or service, and also at the same time, you gain access to global customers. And finally, for us, it's really important that you increase your revenue at least by a minimum of 42%, sometimes even more. We've seen such growth, but we've seen merchants really increase their revenue by up to 42% with international payments being turned on. And this is how to turn it on. I'll be showing in this a quick slide deck of how you can do it, and then run through a live demo, like I said earlier. So there's a simple setup for global growth. When you log into your Paystack dashboard, you just go to settings and you go to preferences and you click enable accept international payments. Sometimes, depending on the structure of your dashboard, it might say request international payments or accept international payments, because we maybe on our back end we've already enabled it and it's just for you to tick enable, and sometimes you have to request it. If you have to request it, it's reviewed within 48 hours and then we turn it on for you. This is what it looks like when you can easily just tick the box and accept international payments on your end. And this is what it would look like when you have to request international payments. It's all about a click of a button and you would be able to either accept international payments or request for it to be turned on. And once we've turned it on, or you've turned it on your end, it's important that you navigate again to the settings, preferences, payment channels space, and then you enable Amex cards, you enable Apple Pay, and you also verify that the compliance requirements are met on your end, and you can test your setup with a sample transaction. This is what it looks like to enable Apple Pay. Immediately this has been turned on, you'd be able to select here, just like you select for cards, USSD, you'd be able to select here Apple Pay, and also select here accept American Express cards, and that way you are all good on our end. It will tell you to enable Apple Pay, and then there's a final step when it comes to enabling Apple Pay. And this is that if you are using the Paystack storefront or payment pages, you do not need any additional configuration for using Apple Pay. However, if you plan to use Apple Pay on a website or an iOS app, you will need to register and verify all the web domains that you want to accept payments on with Apple Pay. And we've provided a very simple developer documentation that will quickly walk you through that. So it's just going to walk you through how you can set up, how you can register your domain with Apple Pay, and you can host your domain verification file and verify your domain. It is important that your domain has been verified and that the verification file is not deleted from your server, because if it is deleted, Apple Pay will stop working on your website. And now we move to the live dashboard demo, where I'm going to walk you through how to do it in real time, and using my own personal Paystack dashboard. So typically when you log into your Paystack account and you go to the home page, this is what you see. I recommend going to the bottom and clicking on settings. So when you go to settings, you also go to preferences, and then you'd be able to see the accept international payments option. Another way to get to this point is to simply go to this log, this beautiful this image right here, and select preferences. It will still take you to the settings preferences page, and then you can click accept international payments. Once you've accepted it, you can now click card preferences, accept American Express cards, click I agree, and then enable Apple Pay, click I agree, and then if you are using, again, to remind you that you should go to our developer documentation to continue, and then it will redirect you to our developer documentation file that shares how you can activate Apple Pay on your website. It's very detailed, very easy to navigate. And if you do have any questions or run into any issues, please feel free to send an email to me or to reach out to our support at paystack.com team. We have a dedicated developer team that would be more than happy to support you and get things done. So moving on, we are going to discuss success stories that we've seen from Paystack merchants who have enabled international payments on their end. For starters, we start with digital goods merchants who process 20% of their transactions via Apple Pay and and since enabling it, 1 in 5 payments have been to global customers. Another benefit that they've seen is the enhanced checkout efficiency. So they've been able to reduce cart abandonment and boost completion rates with Apple Pay's fast, secure checkout process. And more than that, they've been able to really go beyond Nigeria and expand their business to attract international clients for their digital services. And they've also been able to offer a trusted international payments option and build confidence among their global customers, driving that repeat business without any hassle or chargeback issues that they would typically experience on a regular day. And then we've also seen on the physical goods merchant side that merchants who have increased, this particular merchant has handled 20% of their transactions through Apple Pay, and they've been able to support a global sale of their physical goods without stress. Then beyond that, they've also been able to enable sales to their customers worldwide and broaden their market presence, with 15% of their card payments also running with also being international payments, and then Apple Pay also being another buffer to support them in how they communicate and how they support their customers. There's been an improved conversion, obviously, because of the streamlined and seamless checkout process that Apple Pay offers, and how it has just overall increased and enhanced their customer experience. Finally, they've seen a high transaction activity because they've been able to complete over 1,000 plus transactions. And that's showing that international payments does support scalability for physical good businesses, regardless of their location. A few tips that we'd love for you to keep in mind when it comes to optimizing how you handle international payments. The first is to activate Apple Pay for easy checkout, which again, we've shown just now in your Paystack dashboard how to do it, because it allows you to offer fast, secure payments for customers in 60 plus countries and boosts your conversions. And verify your website. Like I emphasized before, it is very important that your site is verified with Apple Pay to ensure smooth international transactions and that there are no checkout drop-offs, or at least there's a significant reduction in checkout drop-offs. It's important that you do everything in your power to make sure that your customers are able to pay you. And that's why registering is really important. Then another thing is settle in USD. We always recommend that you link a USD bank account and preferably a Zenith Bank domiciliary account so you can receive payments in USD to customers that pay you in USD. And add clear payment details. When you're sending transaction receipts, it's important that you use a descriptive name that is to enable your global customers recognize what those charges are when they are checking their bills and prevent any disputes in the future. In the event of a dispute, we recommend that you enable the Paystack Dispute API alerts and you respond with proof, digital delivery records that shows within 16 hours that shows that you have actually delivered on your end. And that way we can stop any chargeback losses for you. I'll just do a quick recap of everything we've talked about so far, which is one, international payments is very important and it is very helpful for businesses when you want to increase your revenue and you want to support merchants, you want to support your customers that are beyond your local region. So you are giving them more choices, you are enabling seamless access, and you are also increasing your own revenue. And you can turn it on by logging into your Paystack dashboard, going to your settings, and then going to preferences, and then clicking any accept international payments. If you do not see accept international payments, please click on request international payments. Your request will be reviewed and it will be turned on within 48 hours. And this is what it looks like. Either you select accept international payments over here or request international payments over here. Once it's been turned on, I do recommend that you go back to settings, go back to the preferences, and then you enable Amex payments and Apple Pay, and then verify your compliance requirements. Host your domains. If you are not using Paystack storefront or payment pages, please host your domains with Apple Pay, and then you can run a test transaction to see that everything is working smoothly. If you encounter any problems at any point, please reach out to support@paystack.com, and our dedicated developer team would be very happy to help you. This is what it looks like to select Apple Pay in your preferences dashboard in settings. And we've already done the live dashboard walkthrough. We've seen our merchants who have been able to run at least 1 in 5 payments are now being done with Apple Pay. They've seen an increase in their transaction volume, with over 1,000 transactions being completed, whether they are virtual digital businesses or physical businesses. Turning on international payments has been significantly important in how they've been able to grow their business and reach more customers. So you can optimize this by, again, activating Apple Pay, verifying your website for Apple Pay, settling in USD by linking a USD bank account to your Paystack dashboard, and finally adding clear payment details in the transaction receipts you send to your customers, and also working quickly when it comes to disputes. It's really important that you respond with proof within 16 hours to stop any chargeback losses. Thank you so much for your time today, and it's been wonderful talking to everyone. Have a lovely day.